From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, October 17th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.08 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,288 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 3.8 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $5,558. Antiwar.com reports the Pentagon has reported that they have killed dozens of people in attacks on a pair of training camps in Yemen's Al-Ubaida province. Officials say drones were involved in the attacks but did not specify if it was exclusively drone strikes. The Pentagon statements accused the Islamic State of running the training camp, saying they were training militants to use AK-47s and offering endurance training. There's no evidence who was killed, though the Pentagon naturally extended the Islamic State claim to say everyone killed was also a member of the Islamic State. The Pentagon said they believe the Islamic State is using ungoverned space in Yemen to plot attacks. Such a statement is commonly part of such attacks in countries the U.S. is not at war in, as a way of offering some legal justification for the strikes. But since the U.S. government never identifies its victims beyond assuming them all to be part of the targeted faction, and no one else in countries like Yemen are ever able to make such determinations either, everyone slain remains unidentified and civilian deaths go unreported. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday agreed to hear a privacy case pitting the U.S. government against Microsoft. The 9-member court agreed to take up the case next year whether Microsoft can be required to turn over emails at more than 100 data centers in 40 countries outside the United States. The case involves content of an MSN.com account the government said was used to conduct drug trafficking in 2013. The data was stored in Dublin, Ireland. Microsoft only turned over information they had stored in the United States and went to court. In 2014, U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska said the company had to hand over the emails, but last year the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit in New York ruled in Microsoft's favor. The U.S. government was joined by 33 states in seeking Supreme Court review. At issue is the location of the search, at Redmond, Washington, where employees can call up the data, or where the content is stored. The company argues federal law does not extend to overseas seizure of data. Brad Smith, CEO of Microsoft and chief legal officer, wrote in a blog post that the current laws were written for the era of the floppy disk, not the world of the cloud, adding, "We believe that rather than arguing over an old law in court approved in 1986, it's time for Congress to act by passing new legislation." Smith said there were broader dimensions to the issue, adding, "If U.S. law enforcement can obtain the email of foreigners outside the United States, what's to stop the government of another country from getting your emails even though they are located in the United States? We believe that people's privacy rights should be protected by the laws of their own countries, and we believe that information stored in the cloud should have the same protection as paper stored in your desk." In its request for Supreme Court review, the Department of Justice said a ruling for Microsoft would cause immediate, grave, and ongoing harm to public safety, national security, and the enforcement of our laws. Mark Rush, a computer security expert and former DOJ prosecutor, told NBC News that users outside the United States would be discouraged from using American internet companies. He said this is a very big case that raises the largely unresolved issue of where things occur when they happen in cyberspace. We have a real world that has borders and national interest, and a virtual world that does not respect them. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT NoGov license. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. That's getcell411.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.